Guru, Vai, 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 Guru, Vai. ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ। ਇਹ ਹਰ ਰਸ ਪਾਵੇ ਜਨ ਕੋਏ, ਅੰਮ੍ਰਿਤ ਪੀਵੈ ਅਮਰ ਸੋ ਹੋਏ। ਉਸ ਪੁਰਖ ਕਾ ਨਾਹੀ ਕਦੇ ਬਿਨਾਸ, ਜਾਕੈ ਮਨ ਪ੍ਰਗਟੇ ਗੁਣਤਾਸ। आठ पहर हर का नाम ले, सच उपदेश सेवक को दे। मोह माया कै संग न लेप, मन में राखै हर हर एक। अंधकार दीपक प्रगासे, नानक परम मोह दुख तहते नासे। There's a beauty of Amrit Naam. When with Vaheguru Ji's Kirpa, our mind, which is a tamoguni mind, the mind full of desires, mind full of cheating, stealing, corruption, with Vaheguruji's Kirpa, when we chant and purify our mind, and when we receive the Amrit Naam, which is inside us, Maharaj says, Amrit pive, when we drink that Amrit, Amrit pive amar so hoye. Then we become Amar. Amar as in immortal. We become immortal. Who become immortal? The mind becomes immortal, because the mind has to drink that Amrit. Us purakh ka nahi kade binas. That mind is never going to be perished. Physical body will perish, but mind will stay. Jaake man pragte guntas. Because now the mind has Vaheguruji, or mind has recognized its form. मन तू ज्योत रूप है अपना मूल पहचान। सच उपदेश सेवक को दे, मोह माया कै संग न लेप। Then what happens is, mind will only get an upadesh message from Guru directly. तुर की बाणी आई तिन सगली चिंत मिटाई. Directly Gurbani Guru's message, wisdom will come to the mind. And there will be no attachment, no maya. Moh maya ke sang na lep, man mein rakhe har har ek. All the time mind will be illuminated with Vaheguruji's naam, one Vaheguruji's naam. Andhakar deepak pragase. The darkness will go away and the light will shine in one's mind. Nanak param moh dukh tehte nase. The doubts will go away, the attachment will go away, the pain will go away. It will run away from the mind. So now, same thing Guru Sahib is telling us here, how to drink that Amrit. And what happens when we drink that Amrit? From inside, not from outside, inside. This Amrit Naam is inside us. Naunid Amrit Prabh ka naam, dehi mein iska bishram. आसा महला पंजवा। अदम चंडाली पई ब्राह्मणी, सूदी ते श्रेष्ठाई रे. There is a story also of one low caste lady. She was a Pagat of Shri Krishna Ji Maharaj, and when she was going through the Ganges, and she saw there was one Brahmin, and she was doing the puja of Indra Devta, and she had a confrontation with her with him. She said, we should only worship the avatar, not the Indra Devta. And because of the confrontation, uh, she didn't. She thought that she has sinned, and her story is very important in the Sanatan Dharam, because that shows how the mind is not Chandal, or mind is not low caste or upper caste. Mind is low caste or upper caste based on the karams which we do, based on the actions which we do. A higher caste person or person belonging to the high society, the physical body, may be doing lowly things for personal gains, right? But when our mind connects with the Amrit Nam, when we get a wisdom of Gurbani Guru, that we have to only connect with one Vaheguru, and no matter physically whatever color of skin we have, maybe we belong to a low status, low caste, it does not matter. What matters is the mind. Adam Chandali Pai Brahmani Suddhi Te Shreshtai Re. Meaning, the one, the mind, which is our mind, all of our mind, by default, mind's nature is mind is full of desires, especially the lowly desires, like sexual desires, like anger, and all that kind of a stuff. And Mara says our mind is Chindali, but when mind receives the Amrit Nam, it becomes a Brahmin. Brahmin not as a caste, as in the mind becomes pure. Sudhi te Shresht Aire. It was of Sudhi as in lower caste, and in Indian system, caste system, it is called Shudra, which can be a sweeper or some say labor work or something. So when somebody is from the lowly job, it does not matter. When the Naam Amrit is there, when they drink the Naam Amrit, as in the mind drinks the Naam Amrit, it becomes Shresht. Shresht as in pure, as in the great. Patali, Akasi, Sakhni, Lebar Buji, Khaire. Because remember all the time that Tamogun is also connected with fire element. When we talk about the fire element is also connected with the Patal Lok. Patal Lok is the ether lands, the below the earth, or whatever you want to say. Basically, anything we do, if you look into our subtle body, we have six chakras out there, and the seventh one is a Dasamdwar, which is above the head. In the sixth chakra, the lowest chakra is called Multar chakra. Multar chakra is the root chakra, which is connected with the Patal Lok, as in anything which we do with our lower houses. We say that this body is filled with the nine houses: two eyes, two ears, two nostrils, one mouth, and two down below for the garbage. So Maharaj says what happens is Patali, Akasi, Sakhni, Lehbar Buji, Khaire. When we drink the Amrit Nam, when our mind start focusing on the Amrit Nam, because Amrit Nam is on the top, our mind is sitting in the Multar Chakra, the root chakra. The mind, when it put the dhyan on the Nam, when it will start chanting, what will happen? These lower thoughts, lowly thoughts will go away. Patali, Akasi, Sakni. Lebar is, it's a kind of a fire wave, the wave of fires. We remember we talked about the Brahm Agan. The Brahm Agan will be there, and that Brahm Agan will take our mind to the Dasam Dwar. Lebar Buji Khaire. And in that, what will happen is that the fire, which is the fire which was a burning fire of a Tamogun, it will be actually erased by the Brahmagan. Brahmagan is also fire, but that is a fire of Vaigru, which is in our Nabi, which is in our navel area. When what happens is, when we have these lowly thoughts are there because of the five thieves gathered there. Like when we are talking about the lust, greed, anger, attachment, ego, काम, क्रोध, लोभ, मोह, हंकार, ये सारे थल्ले वाले चक्रां दे विच हुंदे. All the three chakras, starting from the root chakras, it's there. That's why we have all those horrible thoughts always there in our mind. But with the Brahm Agan, these are extinguished or erased, and our mind starts traveling up from the heart chakra. It starts going up and it goes to the Dasam Dwar. It's a kind of a labor. That's why labor is actually Arabic word, which Maharaj use. The fire always, the nature of the fire is it goes up, right? So to erase the fire of lust, greed, anger, and attachment, this fire will be extinguished, and the fire of Brahm, the Brahm Agan, will take our mind up to the Dasam Dwar, where the Vaiguruji is sitting. The whole idea is we have to kill our thoughts and we have to purify our mind. And that's why we do Vah, Guru, tummy in, tummy out, and we listen to our voice. What happens is that Brahmagan is created in our body, and that Brahmagan will take us out there where our real house is. Us as in our mind. Kar ki bilai avar sikhai, Musa dekh darai re. What happens is when with Vaiguruji's kirpa, when we start drinking, because when that Amrit Nam, when we do, when the Brahm Agan is generated, then Brahm Agan is a sign of the Nam. That now we will receive the Nam. Where we receive the Nam? On our Dasam Dwar, on the 10th gate. That's where Vaiguruji is sitting. That's where the Satguruji is sitting. Before, we were scared of things, and we have discussed this multiple times. The lower three chakras, when our surti, when our mind is focused there, we are always scared of things, little things. And with Vaiguruji's kirpa, when we start chanting, our mind becomes strong because of the Amrit Nam. And that's why Maharaj says in Nirpo Japa Sagalpo Mita. When we chant Nirpo, because Vaiguru is Nirpo, fearless, our mind also becomes fearless. Before, mind was scared of these five thieves, Karki Bilai, and Maharaj is comparing it with the cat, right? In the olden days, even where I lived, there used to be a cat, right? Always going from one house to another house through a terrace, right? They used to jump from there. And they used to eat the mice all the time. Karki Bilai avar sikhai Musa dekh darai re. And the mice was always scared. But now what has happened is, with Vaiguruji's kirpa, here Maharaj has compared that once the mind will get a Naam Amrit, mind will no longer desire for anything outside. Mind will go content. The mind, which was a cat mind, and which was always trying to eat the mice, now it will become content. It will have a santok. Mananu santoksh aa jayega. Then what will happen? It will stop looking outside. It will start going outside through the senses, because mice is kind of a desire. Mind will stop desiring things. Karki Bilai avar sikhai Musa dekh darai re. And no longer mind will go out. It will not become a cat, but it will become it will be content, and it will not longer look for the desires outside the physical body, because that's what the mind do, right? Whenever we see something, we desire, we start desiring. We see a new car, we start desiring for a new car. We see a new restaurant has opened, or new clubs, and whatever it is, materialistic things, mind goes out. But with Amrit Nam, mind stops going outside, and that is what our destination is. That is what the spiritual path is. Unu live da rasta we can de. That is also called the path of live. Aj ke vas gur kino Keher kukar tine lagai re rahao. This is rahao stuk. Rahao is, we always read it carefully, understand it, and we have to self-introspect whenever we see a rahao. Aj ke vas gur kino keher. Now what has happened is, the with Vaiguruji's kirpa, now with the mind which has become a very cruel mind, like a tiger mind, and it was going out, and it was always just like a cat. Mind was always looking for eating things, meaning full of desires. Now the mind has become content, and now it is no longer going out of the senses, and these senses are compared with a dog. Now these senses are no longer a dog. They have started eating a grass like a goat. Ajke vas gurkino keher kukar tinhe lagai re. Now remember, Guru Pyareo, Maharaj is not saying that we have become, you know, what is the right word for that? ਕਿ ਅਸੀਂ ਸਾਡਾ ਮਨ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਵਾ ਡਰ ਗਿਆ. Actually, our mind has become more strong. Strong is not that person, or the strong mind is not that mind who get incited by small small things. ਕੋਈ ਵੀ ਚੀਜ਼ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਦਿਖਾਈ ਜਾਵੇ ਤੇ ਉਹਦੇ ਮਗਰ ਚਲੇ ਜਾਵੇ. The mind is strong when mind is in the control, is in control. Whose control? Control of Guru. Now, Guru Gobind Singh Ji Maharaj also never, attacked anybody. You see, this is very important, and we sometimes we fail to understand this, right? We don't attack anybody. Maharaj always took the shamshir out, shamshir as in the kirpan, as in the sword. He always took it out whenever there was no other option which was left. Otherwise, he always tried to resolve all the matters peacefully. But when somebody attacked them, then only he used the shamshir. But now what has happened is, we have become warriors, not the saints. But Maharaj created Sant Sapai. Sant Sapai is a saint warrior, right? Our mind has to be saint first, and it should be always content, it should be always in peace. But that can only happen in the house Tuk Maharaj is mentioning. Ajke vas gur kino keher. Keher is tiger. Because of our arrogance, we can't listen to anybody. Sanu koi bhi kuch kehta hai na, sada ahankar samne aa janda. Our ego comes first. Why did this person said anything to me? And then our senses behave like a dog, a cruel dog, like a pit bull. No, I'm not going to specify. Pit bulls can also be good. But any cruel, or you can say wild dog, our senses behave like a wild dog. We have no control on our senses. Sade indriyan de control nahi. Kehte na, you can better understand if you're from India. In India, you have stray dogs, right? In stray dogs, sometimes when you go to their territory, they will attack you. They'll say, this is my territory, how come you are here, right? Same thing is happening with our senses. When we don't like anything, rather than controlling our mind, we attack on others. These days, this is a very important thing. In today's world also, there's so much racism, and there is, people, if base, for example, in this country, what is happening is, people will say, why you are here in my house, in my country, just like a dog. That's the same behavior of a stray dogs in India. When you go to their territory, they attack you. So our mind has become like that we don't adjust, we don't cooperate. But when with Vaiguruji's kirpa, our mind will go in peace, in sahaj, we will accept everybody. We'll have love in our mind. That's why Guru Gobind Singh Ji also said, Jin prem kiyo tin hi prabh payo. Aj ke vas गुर कीनो कहर कुकर तिन्हें लगाई रे. Now no longer the dog is going to attack. The senses will become like a goat. It will start, because goats are little humble. They're sweet. And that's why people eat goats, not the dogs. Because this is goats are regarded as a soft animals, humble elements, animals, right? So our mind has to learn from. I remember a story of a saint. That saint always used to say, I have many gurus. Sometimes I learn from air. Kadi kadi main hawa kono sikhda. That how the air turns into a storm. It's the same air which is there, which is giving us breathing, which is giving us oxygen. But when the storm comes, we are scared of that air. The properties of the air is same. Similarly, it is up to us whether we need to use our mind or senses to go out in the Maya, or bring our mind back inside and connect with the Naam Amrit so that we can meet Vaheguru. Ajkevas, and the arrogance ego plays a great role in there. That's why Maharaj says in Gurbani, Kev Sachiara hoiye, Kev Kuda Tutte Pal, Hukam Razai Chalna, Nanak Likhya Nal. Hukam is the Naam, the Shabad. Till the time we will not connect with the Naam Amrit or the Hukam, we cannot become Sachiar, we cannot become truthful. The wall of ego will be always there. So that's why ego is the biggest barrier, very heavy barrier for meeting Vaheguru. Mind cannot meet Vaheguru if the arrogance slash ego is there. With the Naam Amrit, our mind will become pure like a Atmaram, like Vaheguru. If there is no ego, the ego will be eradicated through Naam Amrit. Baj Thuniya Chapra Thamya Nikarya Kar Paya Re. Now, if you see a building, all the buildings are constructed with the pillars. Without any pillars, you will not see a building. And in Gurbani, the line comes, Jo mandar ko thame thaman. To Gur ka shabad mane asthaman. To Gur ka shabad mane asthaman. Similarly, just like pillars hold the building, mind is held by the Naam with the Guru Shabad, Vaheguru, Lok's Naam, Vah Guru, Vah Guru, Vah Guru. And that's what Maharaj is saying. Our mind's roof or the mind is being supported. Baj Thuniya Chapra Thamya. Thuniya is the pillar. But without the pillars, our mind is now being supported. Nikarya kar payare. Because mind has forgotten the way to its own house. What is the house? Which is the house of the mind? Nijkar, thirkar. Mind can only find its house. We can only find our house when our mind will have some support. We have to take a support of Guru's Shabad, that Naam Amrit, and then we will find, just like we were talking about that Brahm Agan, with the Brahm Agan, with the Amrit Naam, we will find our house, Nijkar. Maharaj says, Nijkar Mahal Pavo Sukh Sehje Borna Hoego Fevra. And what will be our support? That Naam, that Shabad will be our support, just like pillars are the support of a building. Bin jadiye le jadeo jadawa theva achraj laya re. Jadiye, what to jadiye? As in, if we want some jewels or we want a jewelry, we have to go to a jeweler. But the jewel for the mind is, we have discussed it multiple times, when we have char padarat which are there, which is given to us. Char padarat je ko mange sant jana ki, saat jana ki seva lage. These char padarth, these four things which are given to us to live in this world, when we start doing bhakti, these char padarth becomes the jewels. The biggest jewel is our swas, right? Our swas, our breath are the jewels. With the breath, with every breath, when we start remembering Vaheguru, we get a jewels as in the Naam jewel, Naam Ratan. We get it, we receive it in the Dasam Duar. And there's no jeweler there who is giving us that Sukham Satguruji is giving us. That Sukham Satguru, that subtle, that formless Satguruji which is inside is giving us those jewels. Bin jadiye le jadeo jadawa theva acharaj laya re. This is that acharaj, that stone, that beautiful, wonderful stone, as in the Naam, is received by our mind. Who gives us? That Sukham jeweler, that Satguruji which is inside us. And he is not physically giving us. And that's why this is very important. That's why Gurbani's Gyan, the wisdom of Gurbani is very important. Bada important. Sukham Gyan. This Gyan is very Sukham. People all over the world, they are looking for some saint, some physical being outside who can show them the path to Vaheguru. Maharaj says you don't have to go anywhere. That Naam Amrit, that Satguru, that jeweler who will give you that Naam, the jewel, the Naam Ratan is inside you. And he will not just give you, he will embed that jewel inside your mind. Bin jadiye le jadeo jadawa. That we didn't even go to that jeweler outside. Inside the Satguru is our jeweler who is embedding the Naam, embedding the Shabad inside our mind. Theva acharaj laya re. Can they such an astonishing thing it is, such a wonderful thing it is that he is giving us that jewel, that nag, that theva, theva acharaj laya re, that naam ratan he has given us. Dadi dad na paunchan hara chupi nirpo paya re. Now this is very important. Everybody should focus this. Maharaj is saying that we cannot say that I have this naam or anything. That's why Maharaj says some people, behave as if, this is something which they have to do it. For example, all of us, we ask each other, what should we do so that we can meet Vaheguru? Ki kariye? Kime kariye? Kidna kariye? What should we do? Maharaj says we have to make our mind silent, not from outside. That's why Guru Nanak Dev Ji says, "Chup hai chup na ho gai, je laye raha livtar." And we have discussed about a story of a Moni Baba. Moni Baba is those saints. They tell everybody that we don't speak, we don't say anything. ਉਹਨੂੰ ਮੋਨੀ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਪੰਜਾਬੀ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ. That some saints, so-called saints, they says that we are not going to talk with anybody. We are going to be silent. Maharaj says that it will not help. You have to make your mind silent. Dadi dad na paunchan hara chupi nirno paya re. If you will remain silent, if your mind will remain silent, then you will receive that naam, that Shabad. Otherwise, you cannot claim that naam. You can't say, I deserve it because of my good karams. For example, Dadi Dadana Ponchanhara. By just doing the good karams, by doing the good actions, we cannot reach there. We have to have a taram. That's why Maharaj says, yes, karam is important. We have to do good actions, no doubt about it. But taram is very important. Karam taram tum chopad sadhu. We have to do karam. With every action, we have to remember Vaheguru. What is the taram? Taram is not a religion. Taram is the spirituality. Sarab taram mein shresh taram har ko naam jap nirmal karam. And when our mind will become silent, when our that chattering of the mind will stop, the thoughts will go away, then we will get a justice and we will receive that Amrit Naam. Mal duliche baithile mirtak nain dikhalan tayare. So Maharaj is giving us an example again of Naam Amrit. What is happening is, Guru Pyareo, when Maharaj is Duliche is actually uh, Dulicha is that like a carpet, right? In Indian tradition, what happens is people, they will take the physical body when the person is dead. They will take the physical body, as in the mirtak. They will take it from the bed and put it on the carpet or something. So Maharaj here is saying, Mal duliche baithile mirtak nain dikhalan tayare. This is very important, Guru Pyareo. So what happens is, the mind which is there, mind is not dead. Mind is always sleeping in the Maya. And Maya many times is compared with the filth. The filth of the mind is Maya. And what is that filth? Our thoughts. Maharaj is saying it is like the mind, we are feeding our mind with the worldly things, with the worldly desires all the time. But we have forgotten that more we will feed the mind with these worldly desires, there are more chances that this mind will never come out of the reincarnation in the cycle of life and death. Don't, Maharaj is directly is giving us an instruction here. Don't feed your mind with the desires. It's like a child, right? Whatever child asks for, we give it to them. Maharaj is saying, Nan dikhalan tayare. But when we show the eyes to the child mind, meaning when we say don't do that, then mind, as in the child, will stop asking for it. But these days what happens is, we don't tell, we never bring our kids in discipline, right? Whatever they ask, we give it to them. Mal duliche baithile mirtak nain dikhalan tayare. And whatever the mind is asking, we keep on feeding the mind. We are not asking mind to stop things, because if the mind will keep on wandering, if mind will getting whatever it needs from outside, mind will never receive the Amritanam. Mind will be always filthy. Mal duliche baithile, as in the mind is sitting there on the filth, on the filth all the time, and it has never ever received the Naam Amrit. Soi ajaan kahe main jana, janan har na chana re. And those minds, they are ignorant, but they will say, I know everything. And today also, if you will talk with people about Vaheguru, that how important it is to meet Vaheguru, most of the people will say they don't have time. They don't have time for this philosophy and all that stuff. They don't want to meet Vaheguru. Some people have become atheists. They say they don't believe in Vaheguru. But something happens in their life that they turn back. We cannot change people, remember always. And we are not here to change people. We are here to change our mind. Soi ajaan kahe main jana, janan harna chana re. All the ignorance says that I know everything, but they don't understand where the Vaiguruji is. Where is Vaiguru? Who is Vaiguru? Because nobody has seen it, because he's invisible. It's not their fault. It's not, if you will look into your lifetime also, maybe there was a time we didn't believe that we have to meet Vaigu. We didn't do Simran because we said, oh, there is no benefit. But now there is so much dukh in this world, inna dukh hai, that when we come in the Sangat, we get a sukh, we get a happiness. So Maharaj says, Kaho Nanak Gur Amyo Pyaya. When we will come in the sanctuary of Vaheguru, ਜਦੋਂ Maharaj ਦੀ ਕਿਰਪਾ ਹੋਏਗੀ, with the grace of Vaheguru, when we will start chanting Vaheguru, 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 when the filth of the mind, that mal will go away of our mind, that filth will go away of our mind will himself come and make us drink the Amrit, that Amrit Naam. Kaho Nanak Gur Amyo Piyaya. He made us drink that Amrit Naam. Then our mind will be cleansed, purified. Rasak rasak bigsana re. Can they how to drink the Amrit Naam? Rasak rasak. Rasak meaning with your rasna. You will have to chant with the tongue. Vah, Guru, Vah, Guru, Vah, Guru. And Maharaj says, Rasna Japti, Tuhi, 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 all the time. Even Guru Pyareo, some Gurmukhs contacted me and they said it's very difficult for them to do the Antargat Simran. The easiest way to start the Antargat Simran, don't worry about connecting with the heartbeat or with the pulse and all and chanting in the mind. Don't worry about that. Start with focusing on your tongue. When you're doing Vaheguru, 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 you're doing this in the mind and you're moving your tongue, constantly moving your tongue. This is how your Antargat Simran will start. Vaheguru, 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 Vaheguru. Rasak, rasak. This is what you call a rasak, rasak. So then the ras will come. The tongue, when the tongue will receive the essence of Amrit, then Amrit will come with that. Focus on the tongue at that time. You're doing internal, the sound is not coming out, and you're doing very fast. There you are not focusing on the breath, you're not focusing on anything. ਤੁਸੀਂ ਆਪਣੇ ਸਵਾਸਾਂ ਤੇ ਧਿਆਨ ਨਹੀਂ ਦੇ ਰਹੇ, ਤੁਸੀਂ ਸਿਰਫ ਆਪਣੀ ਜੀਭ ਤੇ ਧਿਆਨ ਦੇ ਰਹੇ ਹੋ, and ਜ਼ੋਰ ਜ਼ੋਰ ਦੀ ਅੰਤਰਗਤ. The sound is not coming out, but you're moving your tongue. Vaheguru, 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 Vaheguru. That's what Maharaj is saying. Kaho Nanak Gur, through the Guru. Guru has anchored through the Guru. With Vaheguruji's Kirpa, Amyo Pyaya. That Naam Amrit will be received. He will make us drink that Amrit. Rasak Rasak Bigasana Re. Bigasana as in our mind will blossom. Just like flower blossoms. When you give a water to a plant or a flower, similarly our mind will blossom. Mind will have no longer desires. Mind will no longer have filth. Mind will not go out through the senses. So all the time, and this you can do all the time while working also. And a more easier tip is that you can record your own voice. Although we have Sasas Antargat Simran recording on the YouTube, you can use that also, or you can record your own voice and put it in your ears. Kanna de vich laga, all your AirPod on your ears all the time while working and everything. It's always there. And inside you're just moving your tongue all the time. You can do it whole day. And Amrit Naam will come. The Amrit Ras will come. A lot of people have this question, how to drink that Amrit. And this is the technique Guru Sahib is giving us. Kaho Nanak Gur Amyo Pyaya Rasak Rasak Bigasana Re. Bigsana Re. Sorry, Bigsana Re. As in blossom. Bigsana Re. Te Rasak Rasak ਜਦੋਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਗਾਵਾਂਗੇ, when we will sing with the tongue, we'll put the dhyan on the tongue, focus on the tongue, and we will drink the Amrit Naam. Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh. Hanji Guru Pyareo. Any questions?
ਵੀਰ ਜੀ ਮੇਰਾ ਕੁਐਸਚਨ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਟੁਵਰਡਸ ਦ ਬਿਗਿਨਿੰਗ ਆਫ ਟੁਡੇਜ਼ ਲੈਕਚਰ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਇੱਕ ਕੁਝ ਦੱਸ ਰਹੇ ਸੀ ਕਿ there was a lady, and she used to worship Krishna Maharaj, and then somebody else. I don't think I could you just help me understand the significance of that?
Maharaj has just given an example of the old stories. The idea is that she was a low caste, but she was worshipping Vaheguru. High level, if you want to understand that story. But the Brahman, he was upper caste. A very good question, actually. Brahmin, who is a upper caste, and he was doing lower caste stuff. Like Indra, he was worshipping Indra. And he was preaching also that, okay, that Indra is better than the Krishna, right? And when she heard that, she got upset about it. She said, "No, why my ears are hearing that, right?" So Maharaj is saying that it does not matter if you are a low caste or the upper caste. What it matters is about your mind. If your mind is a getting a wisdom of Vaheguru and knows that we only and only have to worship, as in we have to connect with Vaheguru, which is inside us, then even if we are lower caste, in Vaiguruji's eyes, we are upper caste. And if the upper caste person is doing the lowly jobs, lowly things, then that upper caste person is not upper caste, is a lower caste, right? That was an
Okay.
example from that
Okay,
story.
thank you ji.
हाँ जी, वेरी गुड क्वेश्चन। हाँ जी गुरु प्यारे, किसी होर दा कोई सवाल, एनी क्लैरिफिकेशंस? गोइंग वंस, गोइंग ट्वाइस, गोइंग थ्राइस। आओ जी सिमरन करिए जी। 10 मिनट सिमरन, कोई भी सेवा कर सकता है। एनीबडी कैन डू द सेवा। वाह गुरु, वाह गुरु, वाह
Guru, why, 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 Guru, Wah, 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 Guru, ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ 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 ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ। ਅੰਤਰਗਤ ਸਿਮਰਨ ਸੰਗਤ ਜੀ, ਮਨ ਹੀ ਬੋਲੇ, ਮਨ ਹੀ ਸੁਣੇ। ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ। ਹਮ ਅਵਗਣ ਭਰੇ, ਏਕ ਗੁਣ ਨਾਹੀ, ਅੰਮ੍ਰਿਤ ਛਾੜ ਬਿਖੇ ਬਿਖ ਖਾਈ। ਮਾਇਆ ਮੋਹ ਭਰਮ ਪੈ ਭੁਲੇ, ਸੁਤਦਾਰਾ ਸਿਉ ਪ੍ਰੀਤ ਲਗਾਈ। ਇਕ ਉਤਮ ਪੰਥ ਸੁਣਿਓ ਗੁਰ ਸੰਗਤ, ਤਹ ਮਲੰਤ ਜਮ ਤਰਾਸ ਮਿਟਾਈ। ਇਕ ਅਰਦਾਸ ਪਾਠ ਕੀਰਤ ਕੀ, ਗੁਰੂ ਰਾਮਦਾਸ ਰਾਖੋ ਸਰਣਾਈ। ਇਕ ਅਰਦਾਸ ਪਾਠ ਕੀਰਤ ਕੀ, ਗੁਰੂ ਰਾਮਦਾਸ ਰਾਖੋ ਸਰਣਾਈ। ਭੁੱਲ ਚੁੱਕ ਦੀ ਖਿਮਾ ਸੰਗਤ ਜੀ। ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ।